And welcome back to the Fashion Icon. And today we have a special guest with us today, and it's amazing. You wanted to learn about fashion? Today's the day. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that button there because there's a lot of stuff coming. So much information. And this is going to be like a Spanglish type of interview. Así que Theo, Azael, an amazing fashionista, designer. Welcome. It's
Thank you.
amazing to have you here. So, Theo, how did you come up with a brand name?
Theo Azael is actually my name.
Okay.
Theo is the grace of God in Greek,
Okay.
and then Azael is a fallen angel, and is the demon of the war on the desert.
Wow. Okay. So it has a lot of meaning.
Yes, I have a lot of meaning.
That is great. So, how did you get started in this whole? For those people that don't know Theo, how would you introduce yourself as far as, how did you become Theo? In such a powerful, engaging way that your designs have so much meaning. Because I did a little research on you, and it's just quite interesting, your story.
Um, I always, when the people ask me, how do you describe yourself? I say, I'm a creative leader. So un líder creativo. Everything started probably like around, my whole life in entertainment, but fashion designer, probably it took me like 13 years to do my first collection. I'm very into energy, esoteric energy.
I feel the vibe.
Um, I'm a medium.
Okay.
And that comes like whatever is my collection, have a name, have a theme, have a something in the background, is because it's someone from the other world or spirit, like me dirige and direct me, and this is what it is, and it's going from one step to the next until the collection is there. But it's not. It takes time. I need to draw. I need to feel it. Sometimes I put fabrics in the dress form and I leave it there for 2 days, and maybe I change it or maybe not. That's how everything starts. And every collection have a meaning. And I think the first collection was, you asked me how I started. The first collection was very earthy, and I think that was my start. It was very earthy with earth and ground, and how the energy I felt at that time. Actually, we do my first collection was in Homestead,
Right here.
in College Square.
Wow.
In College Square, and
That's a beautiful place.
A beautiful
For those people
place.
that don't know College Square, besides that it's got a lot of meaning, it's a very peaceful, engaging place. It's kind of like, oftentimes, believe it or not, I go there to just kind of like ground myself.
Yeah, when we looking for a location for my collection, we just stopped there, and then the vibe of the place, what I see in the place, it was very meaningful for the collection. I want to represent in the history, the place, the place have history, and I see many things in the place, and that's when the collection, and the owner is like, yes, let's do it here. Like, okay, perfect. So
everything came together.
Yeah. La colección fue, hablo Spanglish,
of course.
yeah. So la colección fue muy de la tierra, porque las cosas que sentí en el lugar fueron slavery, y la energía. Incluso mis modelos cuando se reclutan es lo mismo. Yo tomo los modelos by energy. Y esa fue mi primera colección, así fue que comenzó Theo Azael. Tomó 13 años antes de que la primera colección saliera.
Okay. ¿Y cuál ha sido la colección más exitosa tuya y dónde fue que la presentaste?
Todas las colecciones tienen algo en específico, pero pienso que el año pasado fue mi solo show en el Fashion Week, pero pienso una de las más powerful, porque esta todavía no se ha presentado hasta el viernes, la nueva, fue Savage Obsession, que fue dedicada e inspirada por mi más grande inspiración en mi carrera, Alexander McQueen, que ya no está. Esa colección fue completamente dedicada a él, e incluso le escribí un verso, le escribí un poema que antes de la colección mi voz salió con el poema.
O sea, que fue algo
Very,
personal.
very extremely powerful collection, porque incluso mis modelos sintieron his energy in it. Like it's like very like raro, pero de uno de mis modelos me dijo en backstage, me dijo, oh my God, it's his energy is so powerful, and I can feel it inside your collection. And si se ven los videos de esta colección fue bastante, I think that's a powerful collection. Savage Obsession fue muy very powerful.
Do you have a name for this upcoming collection?
Yeah, I think this collection is very strong, deep. Sacrum Rejecta is the name. The Iron Stigmata collection. I
Sanctum.
Sacrum,
Oh,
Sacrum,
Sacrum.
Sacrum Rejecta.
Sacrum.
This is for me the most important collection. Yeah. My father passed away in January, suddenly, randomly, with he had cancer, but we didn't know how severe is the cancer, and he said, "I'm good, good," and suddenly and I never been in a process to lose someone so close to me, and I'm very esoteric, into esoteric energy and a medium. I am very spiritual, and when I get a shock because I need to travel to Puerto Rico, and for me it's a shock, and I start to thinking, I start to realize the human have different belief in different things because we need to believe. It's part of the human nature. And everyone have different religion, and I think some people believe in heaven, some other people believe the hell, the heaven, the paradise. It's different things, but you actually doesn't know. You don't know. You never been there. You don't know. It's a heaven. It's what it is. What the person go after that, and then it's just like I believe I started thinking completely different after my father passed away. I see the life completely different. And then Sacrum
Yeah,
Rejecta
it was
is
quite impactful. So it kind of like it changes the focus as to something to live for and something to kind of like it impacts your life and it just makes changes and you adjust as you go along.
and it's just like because I'm very spiritual. I start to thinking and then brainstorm about when people say I'm sorry about your loss, but that person never lost anyone. But it's the thing the person do for politeness, for it's safe to say, but you really doesn't know that the feelings the person have inside about that because it's like a labyrinth, and you don't know, and you try to connect, maybe pray or something for the person, whatever is your religion, whatever is your belief. So and its feeling is just a labyrinth. So this collection, Sacrum Rejecta, is about that. It's about this empty space. Whatever you believe, whatever I believe, whatever they believe, it's a mix of everything. It's an empty space. It's like an underworld. It's something like you don't know, you don't know. So the collection is actually a feeling. A feeling. The garment is a feeling. It's like how you feel, how is the soul, how I see that empty space.
And that is something that is quite interesting because within fashion, the power of the outfit that you have. I know for a fact that there are some clothes that I wear and I feel empowered. I feel, great, and I feel that, and that power from whoever designed it, whoever sewed it, or whatever, actually gets transmitted. So I'm in your vibe, I'm in it, and all that. So how many pieces are you going to be showcasing in this next fashion show?
This coming Friday is like the collection have like 30 pieces. It's 30 pieces, and the pieces have metal, have bones, real bones, nails, construction nails, teeth, wire. Is after you die, one of the things that it left is the teeth, the hair. So behind that stay forever. So that's one of the things the collection have, and it was a curious thing. Like I started the event on Sunday, and I've been to the brunch, and I wore this bracelet, and and I have bones in the jacket. So my pieces have bones and stuff like that. And when they're gonna take a picture, I say, oh my God, because all the elements of the collection. I say, you don't see nothing yet. The collection is a very powerful collection.
And how did you go about choosing the models? Because I understand you live in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And how were you able to connect the feeling with the models that are going to be modeling your pieces, or you're actually going to select the models now that you're here in Miami?
Okay, for selecting models, everything starts with the garments. And I need to mention 3-person, like it's very important in this collection. I need to mention so, because I mean, they are very special in the collection, because that's how everything starts in order to select a model. It's the design, but then this collection have over $5,000 in beading, in stones. And I have this collection, I've been alone working with 3 persons. I have 3 assistants to get very close to me to understand that collection. That's the first step before you select the model, because the meaning of the collection, what is inside the collection, and through the whole sewing part, is you feel, okay, this is the type of model we want in this collection. And Lily, Tina, and Myrna, that's my team in this collection. And Tina is one who I can put anything in the mannequin, the dress, from fabrics, and Lily just select stones, and Myrna being in mirrors. And it's just a connection it's the energy between like these 3 person and myself. And after that, I have my muse. I think I sew in everything by that. I have a mannequin with her measurements, and every model needs to have her size, her measurements, in order to be my collection.
That's quite a powerful statement there.
And it's Willina. Willina Rodriguez is like the muse, is the one who, I have very specific people inside my brand, like I trust. They can say, Theo, I think this is, I don't know about that, but I think this way. And I take it in consideration, their opinion. And it does. Willina Rodriguez is like my 3 assistants, Tina, Myrna, and Lily, because they have different. Tina being in the fashion industry, Myrna and Lily, they learn from me. They do beatings, but they learn, because in the beginning they don't understand my vibe and the way I go with my collections, as a fashion designer. And Willina is with me since like 4 years ago or 5 years ago when I met Willina. And
well, I think Willina is a muse for everybody. I know that she's a muse for me. She's just such a kind, wonderful person. So, I'm going to stop you there. And it's like, you're a good-looking guy. I love your story, but I want to see Willina. So let's just go ahead and bring Willina on, because I can only imagine what she's wearing. Knowing you, your vibe and everything else, it's got to be something spectacular. She's always something, that really brings out.
You have the sneak peek of this new collection, because what she wears for this new collection.
Okay, and what we're going to do, we're actually going to go ahead and launch this podcast on Friday. While you're doing the show, this is going to be on the air. That way people don't get to see your collection until after that. So you're going to have to go to the show. Where is the show, by the way?
It's at Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week. And I don't have the address, but it's in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, you're looking for Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week, their website?
Well, we're going to go ahead and put that in there,
Yep.
so you guys can go ahead and get in connection with the Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week and get your tickets on it, because I can only imagine what this collection is going to be. So, Willina, let's just come on in. Pero papá, oh my God. No, mi amor, pero qué va. Esta mujer tiene que quedarse aquí, sentarse conmigo. Yo la quiero ver porque ella es la musa de... Ah, no, 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 no. Pero esa es mi musa también. Y es más que le voy a hacer una sesión de fotos, mi gente. Miren qué cosa más bella. ¿Qué va? Theo, I love you. Pero ¿qué? Yo tengo que estar esa mujer aquí al lado. ¿Qué va? Demasiado. Bueno, explícame, ya que tú eres no solo la musa mía, pero la musa de Theo, que él tiene toda la inspiración contigo y demás. ¿Cómo es que ustedes eligen esas modelos para la colección de Theo Azael?
Bueno, lo primero es que él es muy estricto, muy específico con lo que está buscando en sus modelos. Si supieras que yo soy hasta la más pequeña, porque él busca modelos altas con mis medidas.
Wow.
Ajá. Y no solo eso, pero él busca modelos que caminen como con el estilo europeo, con el estilo de Nueva York, así, nada de que mucha cinturita y caderita. So, cuando estamos en un casting para escoger las modelos, es eso lo que andamos buscando, modelos.
So, when you're looking for that one model, that it is not only just the look, but the feeling and things like that. How
Yes.
to get it, and he's approved everything. So every one of his model pretty much gets to be like become one with the outfit. From
Correct.
what I understand.
Correct,
Wow,
yes.
that's quite a task. That is quite a task. You know, the way that he describes it, and I get it because, you know, I'm very spiritual myself and things like that, and I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, you are going to be walking the show. Okay? So can you tell me what you're going to be wearing?
He gave me like 4 different looks. So I have like 4 different looks for that runway. And
She's being very modest.
Very
No, I
modest.
want you to give me not the he. I want the real Willina laughed. I just love her. You know, it's like that's why she's everyone's muse because she's got such an amazing, empowering, and I'm very blessed to have her be part of our coaching team and things to be working with some of it because we're on the same vibe. You know, if you're going to be in a runway, you have to be that, and I think that's one of the things that kind of like attracted me to have Theo in our podcast because we have so many things in common. I watched the video after him and I watched all his show and I said, I want that guy.
Oh, yes.
And then when I spoke to him and he says, Willina, and I say, no, he's got to be there. He's got to be there. So I'm very happy to do that. So just stand up a little bit and just give me a little bit of turn on that outfit just to show it off. Wow, Theo, te la comiste a lo cubano. This is so amazing. Super cool. Guys, you gotta go see that show on Friday because I know that I'm going. And I want to go there and do some behind the scenes because this show is going to be certainly massively spectacular. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to our amazing muse right here, Willina. And we're going to go ahead and bring Theo back over here so he can tell us a little bit more about what's going to be happening right now because he's going to be coming with us and sharing some more of his journey and how can you learn more about the fashion industry. So Theo, thank you. I mean, it's like you can have chosen a better model because she's just espectacular. So dime un poquito más de como diseñador, ¿qué consejo tú le darías a un joven que quiere llegar a ser diseñador y tener su propia línea?
Toma mucho tiempo. En la universidad, claro, estudiar es una de las cosas básicas, por decirlo así. But mi consejo es que cuando vayan a diseñar tienen que pensar que en algo que nadie va a tener, que sea tuyo, único. Es muy complicado porque estoy hablando para muchas personas y cada cual tiene su propia creatividad, ¿no? Pero es bien importante que tienen que enfocarse en algo que es único, que nadie lo va a tener porque si buscan más de lo que ya está en la industria, es más de lo mismo. So it's a little hard to get into the industry.
So stay away from the commercial look and be a little bit more unique in your expressions.
You know, I think every it's a diversity. It's a diversity for different, you know, different clothes, different garments for different people, different styles. But what I say is like you need to be so unique that people look at you as that. You are unique. Nobody have it. You are the only one who create this in this way. Like the press in my first collection give me the name of the genius of the esoteric deconstructed couture world. Because the way I work my garments. My fabric is very unique because I don't buy fabrics in a fabric store. I research fabrics in different Goodwill thrift store, and I looking for fabrics like is maybe a garment who made me they made it in India or London or any other Asia, and I look in the fabric, the texture, and that's the way I buy it. I just break the garment, take the fabric out, and that's the fabric gonna be for anything in my collection. It depends what is the vibe, what is the theme of the collection. So, and I'm the constructor designer. So I like to reuse things already. I mean, it's in the market. Why you spend more money in fabric when you have amazing fabric inside thrift stores and Goodwills? It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, you just need to do a good research. And that's the way I create my own brand and the way I am. And I use unconventional materials like construction nails, wire. I do different things. The people ask me about, but you need to more like wearable. Well, my style is very more for special events, red carpets, editorial magazines, and I'm a producer too. So, and now after this collection, I start to produce. And I'm gonna teach some workshops or create custom for movies and stuff like that too. So you need to be very unique in what you do. That's the success. It's like it's like don't create something nobody have it.
So in other words, in a nutshell, pretty much one of the things that you're really doing is that you're really working to save the environment because you're recycling a lot of these units and you're going ahead and you're taking apart using something that is already made. So you're actually reducing the human footprint.
Yes.
In what we're doing in the industry. So and people, in case that you don't know or you don't understand, there's a word that's used in fashion that is called sustainable fashion.
Right.
And that is what he said. A lot of people do what is called thrifting, and they get that garment and they take it apart or they embellish it and then become. Not only is it way less expensive for the designer, he's taking something, he's getting inspired with that, and then he's actually saving our environment because what it takes to create a brand new outfit, it's outrageous if you understand in the footprint that we're leaving behind. So I didn't know that. So now I'm more in tune into your outfits, and I really commend you for that. I didn't know that you used a sustainable way of doing that, so it's quite commendable for it. So in another way, and like as far as the models that want to get to become a real model and do something for you, what advice would you give a model that wants to get into the industry to basically become a real pro?
Well, the industry is so wide because every designer is completely different and looking for different features in the model. But one of the things I understand a designer looking in the collection, it's like you want to see a canvas. So if you go into a casting, you need to go very neutral. I mean, if you're gonna use makeup, you just use like a canvas makeup, but all that like eyelashes, all that like eyeshadows, like all that hair. Personally, I don't want to see that.
You want to see the real.
I want to see
the real person.
And then when the pictures is overdue, I understand in for magazine covers like all these like editorials, pictures are overdue. Yeah, it's editorial. That's the way it is. But the designer want to see a normal picture of the person so he can create, or whatever the creation of the designer, he want to see that in that model there because it's a canvas.
So basically, whenever they get their digitals, whenever they get their portfolios, get something that is relatable to who you really are, and be able to show you what you can, like a blank canvas. This is who you are, and this is what I can do with you.
And yes, and I'm gonna say this because it's a note about me as a designer. Because the way I design, a lot of people say I can design for Lady Gaga because that's one of my goals, Lady Gaga. But because the way is my garments, the way the construction of my garment, a lot of like gothic, no need to be model, but start to send me start to send us message like I want to be your model. Because the way of my collection doesn't mean I just going to see a picture of somebody very gothic and it's like, oh, I want that because it's gothic in my collection. So refrain that. What I said before is like need to be a Canva. I want a Canva to see if I can put that Canva inside my world, like as a designer.
So talking about your world, as we get towards the end of the interview, tell me a little fun fact that people don't know about Theo.
Something very fun is like the way I am as a fashion designer. I'm a writer too, so the ways my quotes is very bold, very esoteric, very dark, and make you think, and have thoughts about what I said. Some people thinking I'm exactly as that person when they see me in person. So they got like limited to talk to me, and they thinking I'm very, oh my God, he's so dark. And one of the things is like, oh, you do voodoo and stuff like that. And I'm just looking at them, And the fun fact is like I'm very fun, and I like to make jokes, and I like to play around, and when we
should have
fitting,
shown.
so
We should have shown some of you in the corner while I was with Wilena, the laughing and the joking around.
she know, you know why? Because I'm gonna tell you one of the fun facts. Now, one of the very, very fun fact is like when I see Wilena, I do a lot of videos in Snapchat, and I put different faces on her. I think that was a fun fact.
She's got a lot of different personalities, so I can understand. So give me, closing the podcast, give me, what is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote, it's, oh my God. I have many. My favorite quote is like, I like the people, what is my favorite quote? Oh my God, you take me. Can you cut that there for a second,
No,
please?
we're not cutting anything. Everything is staying. That's the thing. That's okay, because you know what? I write quotes myself. I've been writing since 1997 and I have thousands. And there's so many of them. There's one that I keep on repeating all the time that is like, it's like when people say problems, I say...
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Now I have.
Now you remember?
Yes,
So you
because
see,
everyone talk
I
about
bought
that
you
quote.
time. I bought you time. It's good.
One of my quotes is, I'm not here to make you comfortable. I am here to challenge you and make you thinking twice about your thought. That's one of my quotes, and I think like the people, I was the first Puerto Rican who have an exhibition in the first Caribbean Museum of the world, and in the enter of my, the exhibition we did, it was that. It was like, I'm not here to make you comfortable. I am here to challenge you and make
like
you
that.
question everything you thought before you thinking again. So it's a quote very powerful because I challenge you. I challenge you, and I challenge you because you're thinking something, but I said no. I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to challenge you and make you thinking like twice. What
So
you think.
with that, I'm not here to make you comfortable. I am make you think about everything else. And what I want you to think about is that you got to go see his show. You have to follow him on Instagram. You have to follow him on all social media. Now I'm curious about what is it, TikTok that you do or Snapchat?
For Wilina.
I gotta go see that. But anyhow, thank you for sharing all of your information with us. We look forward to seeing more. Now we're gonna show you some behind the scenes that we did before the show, where Wilina is doing a photo shoot and he's doing all his things. So follow us on Instagram in the Fashion Icons Podcast 1, and of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and stay fashionable. See you soon.